For generation after generation, the promises of the Gulf stood as an unshakable truth in the minds of millions of ambitious workers across South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Africa. Earning the Kuwaiti dinar, the highest valued currency on the face of the planet, was seen as the ultimate jackpot, a golden shield that could instantly lift an entire extended family out of poverty and alter the course of ancestral lineages forever. But as we live through the reality of the year 2026, that glittering oasis has turned into a beautifully constructed legal fortress. The ground reality of moving to or living in the state of Kuwait today is vastly different from the historical fairy tales told by predatory recruitment agencies and shady local agents. The government has embarked on an unprecedented, completely uncompromising campaign to rebalance its demographics, clean up its labor market, and aggressively execute its long-standing nationalization strategy. In this highly charged, hyper-regulated environment, thousands of unsuspecting expatriates are waking up to find themselves trapped in a legislative dragnet that they never saw coming. Coinciding with this internal domestic tightening, a massive regional integration milestone has captured global headlines. The introduction of the Schengen-style Gulf Cooperation Council Unified Tourist Visa, officially branded as the Grand Tours Visa, navigating through its key rollouts right now. This single digital entry authorization promises to allow international travelers and expatriates to move fluidly across 6 Gulf nations, including Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, on a single journey. While global tourism boards celebrate this as a massive leap forward for connectivity, it has inadvertently created a highly dangerous illusion for vulnerable job seekers. Hundreds of thousands of desperate individuals are being misled into believing that they can buy this cheap, unified travel permit, land in Kuwait, slide effortlessly into an under-the-table job, and magically transition their status into permanent residency later on. The absolute, unvarnished legal truth is that the Kuwaiti authorities have built an ironclad wall against this specific shortcut. The unified visa is strictly for short-term leisure and family visits, and any attempt to use it as an unapproved backdoor for local employment will not land you a stable career. It will land you directly behind bars in a high-security detention center, followed by a permanent, immediate eviction from the country. The modern job market within Kuwait is no longer a wide-open, unregulated frontier. It is an intricately guarded ecosystem where every entry point is governed by strict state oversight. Specific high-demand sectors do continue to exist out of sheer necessity, especially across massive public health infrastructure projects, specialized medical networks requiring foreign nurses, the ever-expanding logistics and home delivery industries, and specialized engineering domains. However, the official step-by-step legal pipeline required to secure one of these positions leaves absolutely no room for error or freelancing. An approved local company must first prove to the public authority for Manpower that no Kuwaiti citizen can fill the role. Only then can a dedicated, numbered work visa be issued, which requires extensive medical clearance, verified police background checks from your home country, and an intensive biometric registration process upon arrival. If every single document does not perfectly align with your actual day-to-day employer, you are technically committing a serious statutory offense. This rigid structural framework has fueled a predatory, highly illegal parallel market known throughout the subcontinent as the Azad Visa or free visa trap. Corrupt local sponsors, or kafils, exploit their corporate labor quotas by selling fake visas to desperate foreign workers for extortionate sums of money, often ranging from 1,000 to 3,000 Kuwaiti dinars. The false promise is simple and alluring. Pay the massive upfront fee, enter the country legally, and then enjoy the absolute freedom to work for any employer you choose or run your own freelance business. But under the strict letter of Kuwaiti law, a free visa is a complete, absolute fiction. The moment you step outside the boundaries of your official sponsor to work elsewhere, you enter a state of severe legal vulnerability. Your legal status belongs entirely to the individual who sold you the paper. If that sponsor decides to demand an extortionate renewal fee of several hundred dinars the following year, or if they falsely file an official absconding report against you to protect themselves from ministry audits. You have zero legal rights. You cannot seek help from the police, because the very act of working for a third party makes you a lawbreaker in the eyes of the state. The enforcement apparatus of the state is operating with an unprecedented level of speed and zero tolerance. To put this into context, during an aggressive immigration sweep executed in a recent single month, security forces arrested and successfully deported more than 3,500 foreign nationals for basic labor and residency violations. In the preceding year, the overall number of deported expatriates crossed a staggering 40,000 individuals. Common infractions that previously resulted in a minor warning or a simple fine, such as picking up an informal part-time evening job, overstaying a residency permit by a few days, failing to pay a minor utility debt, or being classified as an absconder, now trigger immediate administrative deportation without any prolonged trial or appeal process. The financial and personal ruin is complete. You lose your job, your accumulated possessions, and any money you invested in your visa. Even worse, because the 6 Gulf nations have fully integrated their biometric security databases. A deportation order from Kuwait automatically triggers an immediate 5-year or lifetime blacklist across all member states. A single minor mistake in the streets of Farwania or Jalib al-Shayuk will permanently shatter your ability to ever work in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, or the United Arab Emirates. To truly understand why so many foreign workers fall into deep financial despair, we must strip away the hype and calculate the cold, unyielding mathematical reality of the local economy. Your survival and ability to build wealth are entirely dependent on which skill tier you belong to, and the numbers are unforgiving. For an unskilled laborer, such as a construction hand, a domestic maid, or a basic cleaning specialist, the average entry-level salary is tightly compressed between 80 Kuwaiti dinars and 120 Kuwaiti dinars per month. Moving into the semi-skilled tier, which includes food delivery riders, taxi drivers, industrial mechanics, and hospitality staff, the monthly income typically scales from 150 Kuwaiti dinars to 250 Kuwaiti dinars. For highly skilled professionals, such as certified healthcare nurses, software engineers, and mid-level corporate managers, salaries can range from 500 Kuwaiti dinars to well over 1,500 Kuwaiti dinars. While these upper figures look incredibly lucrative when converted into your home currency, the local cost of basic survival will aggressively claw that money back. Where you lay your head at night represents the single biggest financial fork in the road. If you are employed by a massive Tier 1 infrastructure or contracting firm, you will likely be placed in a company-provided labor camp situated far out in the isolated industrial wastelands of Shuaiba or Amgara. While these camps eliminate the burden of paying rent, they come at an immense cost to human dignity and mental well-being, with anywhere from 6 to 10 grown adults frequently packed into a single, tight room sharing communal kitchens and bathrooms. Conversely, if you are a semi-skilled worker or an Azad Visa holder who must secure private accommodation in the city, the market is brutal. A single, cramped bed space in a shared room within overcrowded districts like Kaitan or Farwania will easily cost you 40 to 70 Kuwaiti dinars every single month. If you desire a small, private one-bedroom apartment to protect your sanity, the price tags start at a minimum of 150 Kuwaiti dinars, a sum that can instantly obliterate your entire monthly earnings before you have even purchased a single grain of rice. Let us execute the exact, line-by-line mathematical breakdown for a typical semi-skilled delivery driver or technician who is earning a gross monthly salary of precisely 200 Kuwaiti dinars. This is the unyielding truth of their monthly financial budget. Gross monthly salary, positive 200 Kuwaiti dinars. Shared room accommodation fee, minus 60 Kuwaiti dinars. Basic food and cooking rations, minus 35 Kuwaiti dinars. Public transportation or fuel expenses, minus 15 Kuwaiti dinars. Mobile plan, internet, and local utilities, minus 10 Kuwaiti dinars. Mandatory ministry health insurances and card fees, minus 5 Kuwaiti dinars. Hidden international remittance fees and exchange rates, minus 3 Kuwaiti dinars. After subtracting these mandatory, non-negotiable survival expenses, this worker is left with a final net savings balance of exactly 72 Kuwaiti dinars. That is all that remains. From 30 days of grueling labor, under a 50-degree summer sun, from this tiny sum, the worker must send money home to feed their children, pay for elderly medical care, and attempt to slowly pay off the massive interest-heavy loans they took out in their home country just to buy the visa in the first place. If a single unexpected emergency occurs, such as a cracked phone screen, a minor traffic fine, or an urgent dental issue, their net monthly savings are instantly crushed to absolutely zero. Navigating this intense financial tightrope requires a masterful understanding of the local public systems and community blueprints. Medical care is a critical factor that every expatriate must understand to avoid sudden bankruptcy. Every foreign worker is required by law to pay a mandatory annual health insurance fee during the renewal of their residency permit. This fee grants you access to the state's public health card system. Under this protective framework, a visit to your local neighborhood, public clinic, or a major regional hospital requires a small, subsidized co-payment of just 2 to 5 Kuwaiti dinars, which generally covers your primary consultation and basic essential medications. However, it is vital to know that these baseline insurance policies have strict corporate coverage limits and do not cover advanced surgeries, specialized chronic treatments, or long-term critical care. If you suffer a major, sudden medical crisis, you can access the emergency ward without upfront fees, but the subsequent specialized inpatient bills can quickly spiral into hundreds of dinars, forcing workers to rely heavily on community donations or employer goodwill. Despite the physical and economic pressures of the standard 6-day workweek, the massive expatriate community has developed a beautiful, low-cost subculture to maintain their mental balance and find joy. Friday is the universal day of rest, a sacred window where the diverse diaspora reclaims its humanity. When the brutal daytime heat subsides, thousands of workers head out to the completely free public coastal spaces along the Arabian Gulf Street. Public beaches and green strips like a gala become vibrant, bustling sanctuaries. Friends and families gather to lay down simple woven mats, light charcoal grills for open-air barbecues, and share traditional home-cooked dishes from their native countries. In open sand lots across the city, passionate communities organize massive, highly competitive cricket and football matches. This completely free recreational lifestyle serves as a vital psychological safety valve, allowing low-income workers to escape the isolation of the labor camps, celebrate their culture, and draw strength from each other to face another demanding week. The ultimate financial prize for anyone who survives the long-term grind in the private sector is the legally protected end-of-service benefit, universally referred to as the gratuity. Kuwaiti labor law enforces a strict calculation formula to guarantee that long-serving workers are not cast out empty-handed when their contracts conclude. If you complete between 1 and 5 years of continuous service for a single employer, you are legally entitled to receive 15 days of your basic salary for every single year worked. The moment you cross the 5-year milestone, the law rewards your loyalty by scaling the benefit up to a full 30 days of your basic salary for every additional year completed, up to a maximum total legal cap equal to 2 full years of your salary. For an individual who has dedicated 10 solid years to a company, this final lump sum settlement can accumulate to thousands of dinars. It is the ultimate nesting egg, the hard-earned capital required to finally return home, build a proper brick house, or launch a self-sustaining local business. However, you must remain incredibly vigilant, as unethical employers will frequently try to manipulate your basic salary records or manufacture false disciplinary claims at the last minute to slash your final legal payout. We have analyzed the laws, we have broken down the hidden traps, and we have done the exact math. So what is the final, unvarnished strategic verdict on moving to Kuwait in the year 2026? The honest truth is that the era of casual, unregulated migration to the Gulf is officially dead. Buying into an Azad or free visa today is no longer an ambitious career move. It is a highly dangerous, high-risk financial gamble that is statistically stacked against you. The legal moats built by the Ministry of Interior are simply too deep. The biometric enforcement networks are too smart. And the rising cost of local living will ruthlessly consume low-tier wages. If you are an unskilled worker planning to take out a high-interest loan or sell family land just to buy a visa, the warning is clear: do not do it. However, if you are a highly qualified, specialized professional who has secured an ironclad, direct corporate contract with a reputable firm that guarantees your housing, health coverage, and a strong basic salary, Kuwait remains an incredible, tax-free economic launchpad that can secure your family's future for a lifetime. You simply must enter with your eyes wide open, respect the local laws, and see the reality for exactly what it is. The global landscape is shifting at a lightning-fast pace, and the hidden mechanisms of international labor are being rewritten every single day. Do not let greedy middlemen or glossy brochures dictate your life savings. Arm yourself with the absolute truth. If this deep investigative expose has brought true value to your life, make sure to hit that like button right now. Share this vital warning with your friends, your family, and fellow job seekers across your community. And subscribe to Hidden Globe immediately to unlock more hard-hitting, unfiltered documentaries uncovering the true state of our modern world. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay sharp.